Tonight, my guest is Grant Cameron.
The New York Post talked to me, and you probably know the New York Post is coming out with something on the Wilson leak as well. And when they interviewed me, they didn't seem very interested in anything. It was almost like some of the interviews you get with reporters, because they really don't know what's going on, and they don't know anything about UFOs, and they sort of get stuck with this stupid story.
Mm-hmm.
That's my impression. And then they did this series, and they did this weird thing. I don't know if you know how this works. Like the New York Post did the old deal like Tom DeLonge does all the time. They put it on Twitter, and then they pulled it off 15 minutes later. Do you know why they do that?
No, I have no idea. You're the veteran.
Yeah, because Tom DeLonge does that all the time. You'll see a lot of the Tom DeLonge stuff. He puts it on Twitter or Facebook for 15 minutes, and then they pull it down. So what happened is Stephen Greenstreet, who was doing the New York Post article, actually put it up. And this guy, I call him the UFO Google, is Giuliana Marinkovića. Out of Ireland. This guy's like unbelievable. Nothing escapes this guy. And he managed to get it on a cell phone. So we've got that whole piece, and they interview Eric Davis, and they mention me, and what's the deal on this? And he says it comes from the Mitchell files, and I'm not going to talk about it. And so this is all recovered. And then they said this story that they pulled the Eric Davis. They never put the other part they put up, but the Eric Davis part they didn't put up because there was something wrong in the background on the set or something. But it was the same 14 minutes as everything else. I mean, it was like they didn't change the background set. And then he said July the 1st he was going to drop it. And I actually saw the I think it was on Twitter. He put it out. He said it'll be out July 1st. And now they've pulled that article back. But that one's on the Wilson as well. And I've also got people may not know the Australians are working on it as well, because that's where the story started.
Right.
And there's at least one reporter there who talked to me for a great length of time. Now, I'm not sure if there's one or two people working on the story, different agencies, but I think the 60-Minute people were working on it at one point, and then it got pulled. They had one story, and it was pulled at the last minute. But anyway, he talked to me, and this guy, after I talked to him, this guy knew everything. And he's the one that basically said, I think the New York Times has got a drop. They're talking to all the same people I'm talking to. And so they went, because everybody can identify who the people are.
Right.
Some of them are going to do no comment. But he knew an awful lot. Like I even talked to him at one point. I said, the guy you should talk to is Dick D'Amato, who was involved in this story. And he said, I tried to talk to him. So if he knew who Dick D'Amato was and he tried to talk to him, and that's the difference, I think, between reporters working these stories and the reporters of yesteryear, is that these guys know what they're talking about. It's because you always hear this story that the UFO field is a real steep learning curve. You can't just come in as a reporter and do a story. You got to have a lot of background. And this Australian guy I talked to had a lot of background. He knew everything, and he said he was thoroughly convinced this document was for real. And I don't know what he's going to do, but it looks like there's a bunch of major media people who are on this thing, and it's almost like they realize they've been had, and it's like a race to get the Pulitzer Prize now, and who's going to get it first.